Do you source from whatnot to sell on eBay? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, Madcap Toys fans. You are back in the toy barn. I hope you've had a fantastic week so far and things are going well for you. But before we begin, if you haven't already, what are you doing? Subscribe to the Madcap Toys family. We want you to be a part of us. Also, make sure you hit the bell for all notifications because each and every time we upload content, of course, you're going to be the first to know, and comments, you know we love them, so just keep them coming. It's been a crazy month last month, the month of July. Let's rant about that just for a second. My sales on Madcap Toys Plus were down. Didn't like having to write that after I got back from a quick brief stint this past weekend to Daren's mom's. Noticed that Madcap Toys Plus had been less than June from July to the tune of about $300. So not happy. And also sold less items too. I'm thinking there were some days that I didn't list at all. Don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. But yeah, kind of was a little bit disappointing. So we're going to try to make sure that Madcap Toys Plus is increasing, especially since we're in the middle of the third quarter. Can you believe it? And try to see if that can help boost and or beat July and hopefully maybe even June as well. So I'm going to be working on that quite a bit. I haven't got or have listed out my discounts for this month yet. We usually do some store coupons and stuff like that. I know we're already into it, but I need to get that out, so maybe that will help increase sales such a little bit. I do make sure I send offers out whenever I see them. If I want to decrease in price on something that has been there a while, I try to do that as well. But yeah, I've got to get that coupon out as quick as possible. So how have your sales been so far in August? Let me know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. But yeah, that was one thing that was on my mind really quick, was that sales as a whole have been consistent but slow in this weekend. This past weekend was a little bit disappointing, I gotta admit. Being slow on eBay for sure. Mercari kept up. Poshmark even threw out a sale, but both the eBays kind of they stunk. They weren't as good as what they should have been. So basically I shipped out on Monday 50% of what I should have had to ship out. So wasn't too happy there. But you know what? What do you do when things happen like that? You just keep on rolling, you keep on listing, and you keep on going. So we've got 13 items that we are going to share here at the Toy Barn. But you came to the video for a reason, so we're going to talk about that reason. So let's talk about just a little bit while I'm pulling something up. Sourcing. How do you source? Do you source thrifting? Do you do estate sales? Do you do retail arbitrage? And in this case, do you source your items on whatnot? That was a question that was brought up. And so while I'm looking for, you know, what I had was going to pull up on the phone, and then it kind of just did its thing. Madcap Toys, do we source from whatnot to sell on eBay? Right now the answer is no. Not because we just won't. It's just because we just don't at this moment. We've got plenty of sources to source from, so to speak, if we need to. And that's not really an option for us at this moment. That doesn't mean that in the future Madcap Toys or Madcap Toys Plus might not might consider it, or might not consider it. Again, it could be an option out there. We currently do not. That doesn't mean in time, since we do have a whatnot account, of course, and we do have the whatnot reseller community, that it may be, you know, an option. But at this point, we don't. So that was a question that was actually brought up. And so I wanted just to share with you on what some people had to say when that question was asked. So do you source your items from whatnot and sell them on eBay? So let's pull that up real quick. It's a very, very good question. Okay. Here it comes. lot of people forgot. Okay, here we go. So I had someone bring this up to me. They said, has anyone sourced their items from what not to sell on eBay? I'm not asking from whom you sourced. I'm asking, can you find profit at all? So there were some answers. I'm not going to give out some names, any names here, but I'm going to just kind of read a few of the answers from folks and just kind of talk about it for a little bit. One person said, I used to use it 100% for sourcing back before it got crowded. I did make a good profit. Now you can still find good stuff and still make some profit, but the margins aren't as good. So I guess it will all come down to the margins you are comfortable with. There are a lot of resellers buying on there, more than they are willing to admit. I found it to be time consuming at times because you never know what you're going to find. I can kind of understand that, because think about it. If you're going live on these whatnot shows, random, you may not know the sellers, you might know the sellers, but taking several minutes and time out to find the products that you're wanting to flip and at really decent prices, because you're also going to have to consider how much shipping you're going to have to pay on top of it as well, and is it worth the money? Lately, I've gone days where I'm on there 4 to 5 hours and bought maybe 3 things. There you go. There's something to consider there. But every now and then I get a good day and I find something worth some money. But I do it less than before because of the time consumption, not worth the payout unless I got nothing to do. So again, there's something to consider in that factor. You go on whatnot, you could be spending several hours and maybe end up not having or getting very many things due to the fact of the pricing. Of course, again, you have to consider the shipping that you're going to have to pay, you know, on the item. I don't know if many folks do it single items or they buy in lots. Maybe there's people that do a number of both, where they buy single items and pay the shipping, or they pay for a lot of something and pay the shipping. I'm not too sure. But again, spending several hours and only getting 3 items, the time consuming may be a factor when doing that. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Another person said, I have had great luck a few times, but for good profit, it doesn't seem very common. Still doable if you're searching enough on there. So again, it points back to lots and lots of research to find something that is affordable that you can turn a profit on, but not wasting more time, because time is usually well spent when you are listing the items that you already have. Another person said, I do source, and I've gotten some great stuff in the past. Most generally go to a show that don't have very many people in it, and usually prices stay low compared to a group of 50 or more. The less people means less bids. Very good. So if you do find someone that doesn't have a lot in their show, and you know, they're doing it at really reasonable prices with very reasonable shipping, it may be something that you can comp, whatever it can be, and it be something that is feasible for you to resell on eBay or Mercari or, you know, wherever else you sell. Another person said, personally, I find buying on what not to sell on eBay be incredibly slow and painful. It's like QVC or HSN for a new generation. Okay. Another person says, I cannot buy a decent thing on whatnot to save my life. But my husband is a master picker and he has found some very good deals. He's way more patient than I am. I tend to be like, I came here to play, so I'm going to play. And then I get a box of crap a week later. That's pretty sad. In my case, in our home, I would be more the patient one, kind of looking. You know, Daren's the pay-to-play guy. Got to see it. You know, if he thinks it's feasible, want it, get it, done deal. I do a lot more research when it comes to purchasing, and he knows that. So it would be you know, it would be a break in the difference of, you know, how we buy. But again, for me, time is of the essence, because there isn't a lot of time to spend. And so in this case, for me, time and sourcing is very, very important, because I would rather spend more time, you know, utilizing the time better in listing and getting items on for sale, etc., sending offers, receiving offers, etc. One person said, we will see just purchased items for resale in the past 24 hours. So they tried it out. Another person was making a joke that said, no, stay off Whatnot. Signed someone who sources on Whatnot. So there you go. There are people that are admitting that they do source on Whatnot to sell on eBay. And then we have another one here. I love sourcing from Whatnot. I have a couple of sellers that I trust wholeheartedly. A lot of times with old books or magazines, you can buy some that have a horrible moldy smell. I could understand, especially if you're selling, you know, more vintage types there. If the seller doesn't disclose if they smell or not, ask. Most of the sellers are very honest. And yes, you can definitely source from there, especially sellers in the storage unit category. Again, it isn't something that Daren or I do. It's because of time constraint. That doesn't mean that couldn't be an option in the near future. But again, what we focus on in our toy barn, in our company, is time. Because again, neither one of us have a lot of time. And like Daren said, time can be more well spent in getting what we already have from our death piles and getting it listed, rather than spending several hours trying to find something to buy to sell. That doesn't mean in time to come that it may get to that where we may have to do that a little bit in order to get more items that we think that we can turn for a profit quickly. But right now, that isn't in our category at this moment. That doesn't mean to say that that may or may not be a good idea to try. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you do it? Do you not do it? If you do it, tell me how it's working for you. If you don't do it, are you considering it? Just let us know in the comments below. Let's get on to it. So we are going to share 13 items that we have sold. I believe I have it pulled up here on Madcap Toys. So Madcap Toys has been going strong and has had a plethora of sales. Now again, Kathy has had, and Madcap Toys Plus has been a little bit down. Again, I'm hoping to pick it up. Yes, I did go on vacation on a weekend. And yes, I just come back off of spending a couple of days out of town and not listing over this last week. So that probably does have something to do with it, because Daren during that time did list, except for maybe one day on the weekend this last weekend. So that could have definitely something to do with it. But it just stinks if you have several thousand items on. You know, you would think even after just pushing the sell similars and refreshing the listings, that would kind of carry you while you're doing something outside of that. So that's my thing about that. Should you have to list every single day in order to make money? To me, if you've got quite a few on, you wouldn't think you would have to worry about it. But that's here nor there. So let's get to it right fast. And I was actually just pulling up Madcap Toys Plus instead, because it's been on my brain. Exactly. Let's see here. Weather's been cooling down though, guys, hasn't it? It's been great when it comes to dropping off packages and having to deal with that. Daren got all the mowing done this week, so that happened. That was great. Of course, the grass is still really, really clumpy and wet, so it didn't help matters much for that, but we did get it done. So the animals are loving it for sure, so they can hunt better for sure. All right, let's get to it. I've got it pulled up now, the very, very first one here. As soon as the internet, yep, down to one bar. Isn't that weird how it does that around here? But I could actually just open up the door right here, and all of a sudden comes right up immediately. All right, we got it. The very first one is a Color Wonder mess-free coloring Peppa Pig. I'm assuming it's coloring pages. We have one more over here. Yeah, here it is. Let me just show it to you real quick. We got these from a Target palette. This is the last one I've got here. Color Wonder mess-free coloring. It won't color on skin, furniture, or fabric. Look, parents, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? Colors only on special paper, so it's great on the go. So it only colors on the coloring page, so you don't have to worry about colors being spread everywhere. I would have needed that for my youngest son back in the day for sure, when he was about 2 years old, because yeah, everything got colored a lot except for the actual page sometimes. But he's made up for it since then, so no worries. Yes, so 2023 Peppa Pig color, mess free. course, found in the shed, and it sold for $5 plus shipping to boot. Awesome for that. And next up, Daren is starting to sell more of these holders that he bought massively at a coin shop a while back. And we have actually of this particular kind about 10 more available. This is the St. Gaudens Capital Plastics $20 gold coin holder. Found upstairs in the coin desk, and it sold for $6.98 plus ship. And next up, we're always selling media. You guys know that if you watch us a lot. 1994 CD, Toad the Wet Sprocket, Dulcinea from Sony Music. Already got positive feedback for this one. Daren took an offer, and it sold for $4.98 plus ship. And then we sold one of these that we got at a Target pallet not too long ago. We've been selling a lot of the Masters of the Universe Revelation series. And this one in particular was in box and found on the Transformers shelf. This is a 2021 new Mattel Masterverse Masters of the Universe Revelation King Grayskull. And this one sold for $17.99 plus ship. Very, very nice. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, maybe a few videos ago we sold a tablet, but this particular one is my other granddaughter's tablet that she no longer needed because she got a brand new Apple iPad from her dad over Christmas time. So they said, hey, just, move this for us. And we did. This is the 2019 Amazon Fire tablet with pink silicone case, 7-inch display, came with the adapter as you can see. And we tried to move it as best we can because in essence, we were just trying to move it, to get rid of it. And it sold really, really nice. Only $6.50 plus ship. Daren must have took an offer on it. And next up, we sold a coin. We do sell coins here at the Toy Barn. 1926 90% silver mercury dime, good or higher. Of course, found in the coin desk. And this one sold for $8 plus ship. And from time to time, we also sell comics here as well. And we always board them, bag them, and ship them in a Gemini comic mailer. If you're wanting to know how to get those nice protective comic mailers, we do have a link in the video description below. We have always been doing that ever since we found out about the Gemini comic mailers. And to date, we haven't had any issues of any damage to those comics, and it's been several years, so we're very happy about that. 1988 Marvel Comics, The West Coast Adventures number 35 comic book, of course found in the Marvel pile here in the Toy Barn. And this comic sold for $5.95 plus ship. And some more media. Daren got a plethora of currency notes as well not too long ago, along with some silver and some gold coins. And this was one of the currencies here. 1957 $1 silver certificate blue seal note, average circulated. And we have been putting them in plastic currency sleeves as well for protection. And this one sold for a little deal, $6.17 plus ship. So Daren got them in a pretty good lot. So he was able to price point them pretty well there. And next up, repeat buyers. That's what helps make us, right, resellers? We did get a couple from a repeat buyer. He bought 2 in a row. And these are both, I'm just going to put them up on the screen, one here and one there. First one is a 1901 Liberty V-Nickel, very good, was found in Coin Album 8. And that coin sold for $3 plus ship. Already got positive feedback on that one. And the repeat buyer also purchased the 1906 Liberty V-Nickel About Good to Good, also found in Coin Album 8. Positive feedback as well. And that one sold for $3 plus ship as well. So kind of moving some of the older coins that don't have, you know, content of silver and stuff, just to kind of move them along there. And next up from I think it was a retail arbitrage on this one. I received and obtained a lot of these off of an end cap probably about a year or two ago, maybe. And these are really cute. I have one more of Licorice. That's the name of the unicorn. Just Play Unicorn Surprise Licorice and Her Babies. Found on Jordan Shelf 1. And she sold for $19 plus ship. So again, have one more of Licorice. And we do have, I think, a couple of dogs and maybe a horse left on that one. And next up, Darren's still in profit, selling those G.I. Joe blueprints here and there. 1982 Hasbro G.I. Joe Vamp Attack Vehicle Original Blueprint. Found in the desk. This one sold really good. It sold for $24.98 plus ship. And lastly, we found this in a lot of video games and controllers and all that kind of good stuff all together. And Darren thought, you know, why not sell just the instruction manual? And that's what we did. 2007 Xbox 360 Crash of the Titans instruction manual. Found, of course, in our desk where we have all of those things at, including our blueprints. And this one sold for $5.98 plus shipping to boot. So that was 13 items on Madcap Toys, and we still have several pending to the tune of, just on them alone, about 16 items. So we're going to be sharing those along the way, including some more Madcap Plus, as well as some Poshmark and Mercari. Mercari has been holding up the fort since Darren did that reset. So going strong there. Thank you, Mercari. It's helping out quite a bit. I don't have much else to say. I've got to find a Billy Joel CD in here. So it's going to take me a little bit to just kind of look through and see if I can find it real quick. And then I've got a little bit of an time, what do you call it, like a little time gap right there. So I don't have a lot to ship tomorrow because we did some good shipping today. But I'm going to get everything packed real quick. And then I'm going to start listing real hard again. I may do some OT tonight because to catch up and see if I can get close to that 4,000 mark on Madcap Toys Plus as soon as I can. I would like to see Madcap Toys Plus be at the end of the year. It's probably going to push it, especially with the insurance things that I have to do in the upcoming weeks. But I would like to see Madcap Plus be near 7,000 items by the end of the year. That's going to be a hard push, seeing as we're already in the 8th month already. But at least it's a goal to hit there. So I don't have anything else to say, but you guys have been super fantastic. And until next time, bye-bye.